So after watching the piece of shit that was Countdown, I went and watched Black and Blue, the other new release. Again, if you're wondering, like, where's my review for like stuff like Lighthouse, Judy, whatever limited release like Peanut Butter Falcon, I haven't got those. I'm surprised. Not surprised. I'm surprised we haven't got stuff like Judy, but again, fuck, we must get fucking stuff like Countdown, man. We gotta get that audience in for Countdown. Fuck. I'm hoping Judy will get eventually in the next couple of weeks. I hope. But again, like I said, we haven't got Peanut Butter Falcon or Lighthouse yet. So, but anyways, yeah, that's the only two releases that I got this week were Countdown and Black and Blue. And Black and Blue, like I said, was the other one. And out of the two, Countdown and Black and Blue, this one I was looking forward to more because it actually looked halfway decent and actually had a decent cast. Or trailer I got for it was like, that looks fine. I was like, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look, it looks harmless. And I found out about a couple days ago it's directed by the guy who made Intruder. I'm like, oh, okie dokie then. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen Intruder and I've heard people tell me to watch that. Just for the insanity of it, but it's like I do want to watch it. I want to watch it eventually, soon. But yeah, it's like it didn't look bad for me. And it's obviously a topical movie for nowadays, with the subject matter it's talking about. And you know what? This is one of those movies that. This movie's best friend was the fact that I saw Countdown before, because this is a vast improvement. This is a real big vast improvement. This isn't a great movie or anything like that. This is like one of the best movies I hear, but fuck, is it 10 times better than anything than Countdown? And so that's about the biggest recommendation I can give this movie. I didn't mind it. It's a movie that, again, this happens a lot with me going to see double features right after work. By the time this movie was reaching its climax, I was having some hard time staying awake. And it's not the movie fault of the movie. It's just it's hard to see double features. I gotta quit. Maybe it's time for me to stop doing these double features after work. So this movie, it's from, if you've seen the trailers, you know what the plot is. It's Naomi Harris is a cop who lives in Louisiana, or who's a cop in Louisiana. She grew up in Louisiana. She's a military vet who comes home and decides to join the force. And she's in like a predominantly black neighborhood, and obviously this movie being set in modern day, there's bad relations with cops and black people, and it's obviously plays into this movie a lot. No shot there. And she witnesses a few of her fellow cop colleagues who are part of the narc team or the drug team fucking shoot these 2-3 civilians, like execute them, kill them execution style. And she has them on body camera, and they shoot her, and they're on the look for her and try to find her in her body camera and try to hide the evidence of them doing that. So it's that movie. That's pretty much the whole movie in a nutshell. Pretty much, because pretty much you get briefly introduced to these characters, and then bam, the shit just starts hitting the fan pretty fucking quickly. It doesn't waste any time. You just get enough of a brief rundown of who each character is and what they are and whatever. Naomi Harris is great in this movie. She definitely carries this fucking thing. She's a really good actress. She's a powerhouse of an actress that I definitely see being forced to be reckoned with for the next few years. I want to see her. She don't get as big into any big movies as much anymore, but I loved her at Moonlight. She's really good in this too. Like I said, her performance carries this fucking thing. There's all good acting all around, really. Tyrese Gibson, honestly, he has grown on me as an actor, and he's not just playing like the character he plays in fucking Fast and Furious. He's playing it straight, and he's good. He's in the majority of this movie along with Naomi Harris. People like Frank Grillo is the fucking villain, which is awesome. Anytime Frank Grillo's in a goddamn movie, it's just the fucking. I'm sold on it. Mike Coulter, they're pretty much who I just call Luke Cage at this point. Plays this drug dealer who, basically, kind of getting a spoiler alert. One of the people that was killed was his nephew, and he's on the hunt for the person that killed his nephew, and so he plays a major part in the last half of the movie. He's being intimidating as shit because he's Mike Coulter and fucking Luke Cage if he was a fucking drug dealer, and like I said, he's intimidating. He's a big motherfucker. I would not want to fuck with him. He's dead. Like I said, he's good in it. Who else? Who else? I think I'm missing somebody else, but performances wise, this movie's good. It's just a fine movie. It's like I said, it's more of an action movie than really any try to have too much of a message. It does obviously tackle police relations of blacks and everything else like that, but it's not a big portion of the movie. It's more an action movie than anything else. And it's a quick sit. Like, it's only an hour and 40 minutes. Not that, nothing like really bad about it. It's just there. I enjoyed it. It's nothing like you haven't seen anything like this before. It's pretty, cut and dry. You know what's gonna happen, and it's no surprises. There's not much to talk about with this movie. One thing I will say there is one scene in this movie I gotta talk about. This is kind of getting to spoilers a little bit, not much. This is towards the end of the movie, but there's a scene in this movie that's really fucking one of the stupidest things I've seen all year. There's a scene in this movie where, again, don't try this at home, kids. For the love of God, this will not end well for you. I guarantee it. So there's a scene in this movie where Naomi Harris gives Tyrese Gibson her bulletproof vest and basically her whole cop uniform so that he can disguise himself as a cop. So he can, I'm not making this up, walk into the police station and access their computer and everything else. And I'm like, really? This is happening. This is her plan. Really? Okay, whatever. And it fucking works. I have no fucking idea how that fucking worked, but, because at this point, his character is kind of is wanted by the cops too, and they kind of know what he looks like too. So I'm like, how the fuck did that work? And even if they didn't recognize him, and they would be like, wait a minute, that's a guy I've never seen before. What the fuck? And like I said, that made no sense. Don't try that at home, people. Do not try to impersonate a cop and walk into a police station. That's not a good idea. It will not end well for you. That's a PSA from Bill for free. How about that? So, yeah, that was one of the dumbest things I've seen in a while. I was like, I know it's a movie, but that's really dumb. That took me away. That took me out of the movie for a second. I'm like, is this really happening? But it's a fine movie. I liked it. It's acting wise, it's really well acted, and it's pretty well directed. It is kind of shaky. It cam a little bit too much, and towards the end, there's some shaky cam. It's a little much at the end, but it's not a bad movie. It's a decent little flick, and probably I'd say a rental, or if you're like me, of seeing movies for free, yeah, it's not a bad sit. There's a lot better out there to watch right now, so, but I recommend it. Trailers, fuck, man. I only got one new trailer. Richard Jewell. This is the first time I got this trailer. I know it's been around online for a while now. This is the new Clint Eastwood movie. This motherfucker is churning out movies like nothing. God damn, man. Like, every year, like, he did 2 movies last year, and he's got a new one this year. So, it's a movie, I don't know much about the story, but I know it's based off a true story. It's about the Atlanta bombings in 1996, which I was like 8, I think. Yeah, I was 8 when that happened, and I barely remember it. Like, I think I kind of barely here and there. But this is a guy who discovered the bombs and got people to safety, but in the aftermath, he was considered a suspect, and, like, according to this movie and according to what I've heard some people say, he was pretty much painted in the picture that he was the guy behind it by the media and by the government. And he was, was kind of just, in the trial of the public opinion, he was pretty much considered guilty from the get-go, and even though he was innocent. And it's a movie where, man, I love Clint Eastwood. He's one of the best actors alive that ever live. He's easily one of the best actors ever live, and he's a great fucking director when he is on point. But I've said this a lot about his recent movies, but his stances on politics and his beliefs on a lot of different subjects are starting to creep in a lot more as he's getting older, and it's starting to drive me fucking insane. I get it, he's a Republican, but Jesus Christ, I'm sure this movie is going to be an allegory about Donald Trump and, like, how he's being wrongfully persecuted by the fucking government and members of the government and the media, and how they're all wrong, or something. I'm sure that's what he's going to try to do. I have a bad feel. And also, this movie feels too much like Sully. It's another version of Sully, but instead about a plane crash, it's about the 1996 Atlanta bombing. So it's exactly the same exact fucking story. Like, Sully was pretty much doing, like, a guy who was considered a hero first, was kind of outcasted after the aftermath came out, and I'm like, this is pretty much the same story, and I wasn't that big of a fan of Sully. Hopefully this is better. Like, I still go see everything that Eastwood does. I'm hoping it's good. So, yeah, there's that. That's as far as trailers. Shit, I got a lot to fucking try to get through till I gotta review the Creepshow TV show, which I'm in the process of watching, The Perfection, and Free from Hell, all before Thursday. So lucky me. So, because I'm leaving, all before Friday, technically, because I'm leaving on Friday. So, until then, I'll talk to you guys later.